All right, I'm back with another video. I'm BJ with Real Property Management. We are in the DC area. We also manage in Maryland. And actually just got a phone call with an owner that was calling me to ask, should they rent their home or should they go look forward to selling it? They're getting transferred. They've owned the home for a few years. They've got a really good interest rate. And, they like the idea of renting because they've heard stories about cash flow and all the benefits of renting. But they're also looking at selling because they've also heard the horror stories of renting. And so we had a discussion, answer some questions kind of about what it'd look like for us to manage it, how we would handle the day-to-day, the leasing, all the rent collection, any tenant issues, that kind of stuff. But really what it came down to them is, are they able to deal with the unknown? The tenant has repairs they call about, emergency stuff. What if the tenant doesn't pay? What does that look like? And so we answered those questions. And what I really explained to them is, if you sell the home, you're done. You get one big paycheck. Maybe you've had it for, you've had it 5 years. You get a good amount of appreciation. You got a paycheck, and you're done. But you have none of that other risk. Now, keeping it on the flip side, you have that risk. You have, the roof needs to be replaced, HVAC needs to be fixed, all those things that could happen. Tenants might not pay rent. But what I explained to them is, our job is to find you the best tenant that's going to take care of the property for the highest amount of rent. And when we do that, we also want to make sure we're taking care of the property and putting money into it that needs to be done. And so we are the eyes and ears, and we're at the property, we're checking it, and we're looking for the best tenant for you. But if you have the comparison of selling as renting it, if you sell it, you get one check. If you rent it, you get appreciation. You hold that for 5-10 years. In DC, Brooklyn, Capitol Hill, wherever the property is, properties are appreciating. There's some slow years, there's some really high years, there's a couple years it goes down a little bit. But if you hold that for 5-10 years, you're getting appreciation. So that's going to be more money you can make if you hold it for 5-10 years. You're also getting mortgage down payment. If you have a good, nice 2% interest, 3% interest rate, whatever that is, the tenant is going to be paying you rent. You're using that rent to pay the mortgage, and the mortgage doesn't go down. So especially if you hold it you've already had it 5-10 years, and you're looking for another 10-15 years, that mortgage rate's going to be going down really fast. And so you're now getting even more appreciation there. So then there's also tax write-offs. You potentially can write off your mortgage interest rate, insurance, repairs, even property management fees. That's something you want to check your tax accountant. But those are things you can typically write off that can also save you money on taxes. Another thing is the building depreciation. You can write off different things in the building over the life expectancy of that building. Like carpet has 5 to 7 year life expectancy, kitchen countertops, kitchen cabinets. So as you replace stuff, it's an expense, but there's also tax deductions based on depreciation. And then finally, cash flow. There's a potential that, say rent is $2,500 and your mortgage and everything is $2,000, you're making monthly income. So one thing I want to talk to you about is, and I kind of pointed this person in the direction of, is we have a tool called the Wealth Optimizer. And what this is a tool where you can put in your property address, you can put in what the estimated rent is, what your mortgage is, and it'll actually give you real life numbers of what that property looks like today, what it should look like in 5-10 years. So you're actually looking at real numbers side by side of, if I sell today, I make X. If I keep it as a rental and all goes as planned I'm going to be doing some repairs, I'm going to have some vacancies, I'm going to have some turnover, but with all those built in, what it looks like for me in 5-10 years. So you're actually making a financial decision with good information. And then again, our job is to handle that day to day. So you're not dealing with the stress. You're not dealing with all the back and forth with the tenant. You collect rent, deposit, check on your statements, make sure everything looks right. And we do all the hard work. So if you have any questions, give us a call. We'd love to talk to you about it. We'd love to show you the tool. I'll add the link to the Wealth Optimizer in this video. And if you have any questions, let us know. Thanks again. I'm BJ with Real Property Management. Thanks for watching this video.